Hi, my name is Shirley.
And I'm Brandy.
And welcome back to Unspoken Transitions, where we talk about the nuances of adulthood and the transitions that we don't really talk about a lot.
So for today's topic, we're going to be talking about Juneteenth. I know it's become a really big, celebration here in the United States and, being actually acknowledged and having like time off and things like that. So my question for you is, what does Juneteenth mean for you? Like, how would you define it? What does it mean for you?
I should have thought about this a little bit deeper. Juneteenth, I'm just gonna say it's a celebration of Black people. Like, I didn't really learn about it until 2020. I blame my schools because like predominantly white and stuff like that. They didn't really focus, and I didn't really learn about it, so I didn't know what it was. But to me, I take Juneteenth as a day to celebrate Blackness, celebrate who I am as a person, celebrate like our roots. I'm not African American, I'm Haitian, so like, reflecting on like the pride of being a Haitian, even though I know January 1st is for that too, but like still. So just celebrating my Blackness and taking a day to really soak that in, whether it's going to a cookout or like dressing how I really want to dress, or like, I don't know, doing something fun to enjoy myself and what I represent. How about you?
And embrace like my Blackness, I think, for me.
Yes.
And same with you, I'm learning a lot about like what it means and like, the end of slavery and like all of that kind of stuff that I didn't know before. So it's been a lot of learning for me like the past few years.
Yes.
Juneteenth. So
literally. Yeah. What it means, like what success means as a Black person. Because, like historically we've been pushed down, beaten down, everything has been like tough for us, or barriers have been put in place just to make things harder for us to be successful. So I think being Black and successful when everyone opposes and tries to beat us down, so celebrating our successes as a Black person is just really important, because we take pride in who we are. We have so many we're so talented, we're so gifted and everything, and
so resilient.
Yes, resilient through the challenges, even though I feel like it shouldn't be resilience 24/7, always being resilient, but we always power through. So what success means for me as a Black person, I think a lot of times is tied to academics, because we weren't allowed to go to college for a while, we weren't allowed to do all these things, and like those statistics that, we're not going to be successful because like, only white people get like a bachelor's and master's and PhD, and they can be in certain professions and stuff like that. So Black success for me, I tune it to myself and my goals and everything, because I think tuning it to everybody else takes away from yourself and your accomplishments, and it kind of makes you want to accomplish something out of spite, kind of like, you said I couldn't do it, so I'm gonna do it because you said I couldn't do it, rather than it being like, I want to accomplish this goal, let me work hard to reach that goal. So I just focus. So success for me means doing things I enjoy and reaching my goals intrinsically rather than for other people.
Yeah, that's really important, and I'm glad that you mentioned that, because it's like almost breaking barriers.
Yes.
In a lot of ways. I think for me, mine's is outside of the professional space. I think now it's more about well-being, and like not always having to be the strong Black woman, not always having to be, the person that has to go against the grain and like fight for all these things. It's really exhausting, especially growing up in like predominantly white spaces. So I think for me, it's about, okay, I can take time to rest. Like I can take time to take care of my mental health. I can, do all of these things that I haven't seen or been taught by like, my parents who were immigrants or other things. So I think that's something that's beautiful to see in people like embracing that.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I didn't even think of the angle of rest and everything. I only thought of academics because I think that's what like our parents have like instilled and put into us and like told us to do. So that's all we really focused on, because I agree. I think growing up it was like, I can do things for myself, I can be successful in this way, I'm going, me, like not even with help, like me personally, I'm going to be successful in this way without anybody else, and I'm gonna prove that I'm independent and I can do this. And like you said, it's like, you don't have to do all that. You can ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. It doesn't make you weaker to ask for help. Like it's okay if like somebody opens the door for you. It's like I don't need to hold these 10 boxes and open the door to prove that like I'm independent, I'm capable and stuff like that. Which definitely can lean into like more gender things, like maybe men saying, or growing up in the Haitian household, it's like, oh, men do this and women do that, and like that's it. And then that could also be a thing where I'm trying to prove like, no, I can do it all. But ultimately, like you said, having the time to rest, having time to focus on myself, break down the barriers, generational curses and stuff like that, and be successful just like holistically rather than specifically academically.
I agree with that. And like it really transfers, like everything you've internalized in your household transfers into your career and your work and academic spaces. And it's like I've even found myself thinking, oh gosh, like I need to work 3 times as hard as these people to be just as good, or you know, I have to go above and beyond in all these areas to like make it somewhere. And that's a lot of pressure. When I think about it, like in my childhood, I'm like, that's a lot of pressure that I had on me at such a young age to like be successful as a Black woman, because it's like there's so many things against you. And then people have their own like preconceived notions about you in work. It's like, you know, you might be deemed as like the angry Black woman if you advocate for yourself, or you might be seen as, you know, not a team player if you like don't speak up and socialize, or if you just, you know, do your work well. That's not enough. So I just feel like you, in my opinion, as a Black woman in America, you will not make everyone happy.
You just
won't.
not.
And I'm okay with that.
That is real. And like it's like, and that's okay, because I agree, when you're jumping through hoops, you're doing acrobatics just to like prove that, like backflips, cartwheels, just to prove that like, oh, you're competent, you can do your job well, rather than just doing the best at your job and leaving at that, like feeling like you make a mistake and that's it, you're getting fired tomorrow, it's over. And I feel like that is pressure as a Black person, because when you said we need to be 3 times better in order to be successful, I directly thought of like my parents, because that's something my parents have told us, just like somebody who's white can have an associate's and they can be the CEO, and you need that PhD, and maybe you can get an interview for that same position because of their whiteness. So
that kind of hit. It's true. It's
like,
true.
They've always said that to me, and I think I appreciate them for being realistic. Like, no, just because you have a bachelor's, it doesn't mean you're going to be in the same space. You still need to work hard, which I think is difficult, and also not putting our self-worth in our successes in work and in academics, because we're so much more than academics and our work. Like, there's so much life to life that we don't have time for experience, but like we are more than our work, whether it's academic or with school 100%. And our degrees and stuff like that. They're important, they're great successes, but we shouldn't define ourselves by the kind of work that we produce and everything. So it's tough.
And there's so much else that we bring. Like, we're really the blueprint for so many things, like fashion, music, culture. Like, there's so much that we bring on top of, you know, our intelligence and things like that. So there's so many things worth embracing.
Yes, so
I
many
love being
things.
Black.
No, same. Like, legit, I think that it's like, it annoys me on, what is it, like TikTok, you've seen it, where it's like, oh, sticky bangs for laying edges, and it's just like, no, we've been doing this for a while. Or it's like, oh, we have like bonnets, I don't know what they called it, but like, I guess white people have discovered bonnets, and now they're trying to say like, they discovered bonnets, and they're trying to like make it popular and stuff like that.
Like, there was something I saw about like, it was something about Hailey Bieber created like this lipstick trend, and it was like brown lip liner and clear lip gloss, and people were like coining it as, oh, it's the Hailey, what is it, Hailey Bieber? It's the Hailey Bieber lips. I was like, listen, Black and Latinx women have been doing this way back when,
like 90s and everything.
Let's be realistic.
Let's dial it back.
Let's be realistic. Yeah. So, and that's a beautiful thing too. The trends and stuff like that. But yeah, even like laying your edges. Like, I used to think that I needed to lay my edges every time I wore my natural hair, like slicked back with the eco styler. Like, my edges were probably screaming for help.
Yes.
For like interviews, I would make sure that I did that, or you know, even like wearing perm when I was younger. It was
Yes.
like you have to. I don't think it was a choice.
No, you
like,
had to do it.
Yeah, you were wearing perm, so I think there came a point in time where I was like, no, I don't really want to do this anymore. I think I want to do my natural hair. It might be a lot of upkeep, and my arms might hurt sometimes, but
the attack.
Yeah,
I got over that. What? Like,
really?
So, yes, like it was so much backlash because it was, I don't remember when the natural hair movement started, and that's a whole other topic because it's just gone somewhere deep. And have you heard about what's wrong with the natural hair movement?
No.
Like, well, I'll touch that in a second.
Oh,
but
what now?
But literally going into college, I was like, all right, I want to go natural, not just because it's a trend, but because I agree, like, we're putting this in our hair to keep our hair straight. And I didn't even know what my curl pattern was. Like, I don't remember what it was.
In 2014?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, that's crazy. Yes, 2014.
Okay.
I was just like, okay, like, let me, like, get into my natural hair. So I didn't do a big chop because I just didn't have that much confidence to just cut all my hair off. So, like, I just did the slow transition and stuff like that. And because my parents were just used to me having straight hair, the fight for it, they were like, no, like, you need to have a perm. And I was just like, no, I'm gonna like do this and everything. And don't get me wrong, I was looking like, you know, crazy at some points because I didn't know how to do my hair. Like, I've always had straight hair, so I was looking busted sometimes. Like, when you're experimenting, like, you know, you just no one has been natural before me. I was going out looking crazy, I can't lie, looking at pictures. But ultimately it was just a journey I needed to go on because now I love my curls and everything. Now I figured out like 3 years ago, but I was looking back at my like undergrad pictures, I was like, yikes.
No, that's real. Like, I've seen, you know, because I would do the protective styles too, and sometimes I was like, why did no one tell me that I was looking like this? Y'all clearly didn't care about me.
like the what is it? I used to think I could just get a headband and just throw it on my head.
Yeah, that would make it all work come together.
It didn't come together, or like I'd be looking at 3B girlies thinking that my hair was looking the same.
Listen. It was a struggle. But I'm glad that like the younger generation, they have a lot of like influence and things like that to like look up to and teach them how to do their hair.
Yes.
We were out here just, we didn't really know who was.
We saw 3A, we're like, yo, let's try it. This is gonna work out. And then
this is the one.
The washing goes. There was no washing and going. It was I washed it, and I thought, because in the YouTube videos you just put the gel in, and then like eco styler, and you're good to go. I was out here looking crazy. It was like puffs and stuff. I was like, yo, this is not good. But yeah, there was a lot of backlash from my parents because like I wasn't looking as put together. And in their eyes, and it was because I didn't know how to do my hair. I was learning how to do it, and they were just like, just get a perm, like just figure it out. And they would like come at me every single time. They're like, oh, your hair looks crazy, your hair looks X, Y, and Z. And I just had to like persevere through that in order to come to a place where I can learn what hairstyles work for me, what looks good for myself, and stuff like that.
No, that was the same for me too.
You got attacked for it?
Well, because I didn't know. I think if it looked, once I started learning how to do my natural hair, I stopped hearing about it.
Okay.
But like, it was like, there was nothing worse than seeing a YouTube video and being like, okay, like I'm gonna do this style. Like you said, like the 3A, 3B girl. I'm like, yes, this is gonna look so good. I put it all together, and then I look in the mirror and I'm like, whoa, I have to leave in like 20 minutes.
No, literally.
And like, this is not what it was supposed to look like.
Like, I spent an hour doing this, and it's not giving anything.
So I think people were just like, it's not looking right. But like, once I learned, I think they were more accepting of it.
Yes, same. And also once like my hair grew out a little bit more, they were just like, I'm like, this is fine now or whatever. And I'm like, But the debacle going on with the natural hair community, I exited. I just am not a part of the community. Not because I'm relaxing my hair or anything. It's because what are they doing? Like, there's too many rules. Okay? Like, wash, pre-poo, shampoo, conditioner, deep conditioner, oil your scalp upside down, massage it with hot oil for 20 minutes 3 times a week, and then your hair will do this. You can't trim your hair, right? You can't straighten your hair,
right?
You can't put this certain thing in your hair. You can't put grease. You can't, like, the point where I just stopped listening and just exited and just started doing my own thing. This was literally like 2 years ago. This is not like, but like I just figured this out, is when they're like, oil is bad for your hair. I was like, okay.
Like it'll cause buildup. Or like, yeah.
Or co-wash. You need to only co-wash your hair. Like, you know, you didn't hear about that one? You shouldn't wash your hair. You should only co-wash your hair. So only conditioner.
That was a time. That was a time.
You only can.
Gosh.
Yeah, they're like, if you wash your hair, you shampoo, you're stripping all your hairs of nutrients, so that's bad for your hair, and that's why your hair is breaking, so you shouldn't do it. Everything broke your hair. Everything. If you slept wrong, your hair broke.
Yeah, it was like, you're not wearing the right bonnet. You're not, you know, wearing this. You're leaving your protective styles in for too long. And like,
you're wearing wigs, you hate yourself. I'm like,
yeah.
You do.
Help.
That was ridiculous. Like, oh, if you wear wigs, you hate yourself. If you do this, you hate yourself. If you don't, the one that really got on my nerves, it was just like, if you manipulate your hair in any way, it means that you don't like yourself and you don't like your hair. And I'm just like,
it's a strong statement.
It's a very strong. Don't get me wrong, do what you want with your hair, but I think this policing of, you can do this, you cannot do that. Like, if I want my edges, like, I don't have to have my edges like laid every time, but if I want my edges laid, it does not mean that I hate my hair and I hate myself and I don't want to be a part of the natural journey. You get what I'm saying? So
100%.
that was really bad. It was really bad. But yeah, I've exited that journey, and because it's just full of a bunch of like nonsense and everything. But overall, that was a long tangent. But overall, what I'm trying to say is like, embrace yourself, whether it's your natural hair. I know some people, a lot of people are going back to like relaxing your hair. If relaxing your hair is easier for you, do what you need to do. Like,
but look into the health, you know, related.
Yeah, I looked into the health related stuff.
It's a lot.
It's because it's have you seen, not what the health, that's vegan stuff. It's the one with, I don't remember his name. There is somebody who is black and has a child, and he made a documentary like in the early 2000s about like,
oh, okay, I think I've heard about
2010s about it. But yeah, like it was
recently. Yeah.
I think Chris Rock, there we go. It was Chris Rock, and he was talking about how his daughter really wants straight hair and everything, and like he looked into perms and like what it does to your hair, what it does to your scalp, your health and stuff like that, which is why I will not go back to relaxer because of the health reasons. I'm not going to judge you for it. Do what you need to do, but I think there are health implications.
Oh, absolutely. And when you know better, you do better. Like, these are these systems in place, you know, but that's a whole different topic. Health and blackness and, you know, medical care and all of that stuff.
Medical care, yes.
Whole nother topic.
She's like, we're not even going to jump into that. But overall, what I'm trying to say is like, embrace your hair, whether it's braids, whether it is jewelry, express yourself. Like, don't be afraid to be yourself. Like, you don't need to be prim and proper 24/7. Like, I think whiteness has been so ingrained in our culture that like we don't feel like we can be ourselves without being unkept or like looking unprofessional or looking like ugly, essentially, if we don't look like white people. So Juneteenth, the holiday, everything, I think it's just about embracing yourself and not feeling the need to have to succumb to societal standards and stuff like that. Like, yes, at the I'm not saying like throw it out the window, because at the end of the day we are living in a white supremacy like America. It is what it is. So you go to your interview, straighten your hair, put on that wig, and then come in with box braids on your first day. That is what I say. Like,
that's your methodology. Like, you know, and I would say embrace it. Like, we can't act like these systems aren't in place. We can't act like people don't have like these preconceived notions, biases. Like, we can't ignore that exists. It's very real. As much as I would love to say, you know, people aren't gonna judge you for this and that, like, people don't necessarily know better. Or maybe they do and they just choose not to do better.
That's true.
But, you know, I just say, like, use this time and every day to like just embrace your blackness, embrace your culture, embrace where you come from. I think that's the most important thing. And black people come in all different like shapes, sizes, shades, you know, I've gotten you talk like you know, white girls, like all this stuff. Like, you are who you are. If you know, you like something that's like out of the ordinary, that's okay. Like, there isn't just like one box, even though they try and fit us in a box. There is not one box. Like, you can love K-pop, you can love, you know, cottagecore, like you can do all these things. Like, that's okay. And I think that's what's so beautiful about like blackness. We come in all different shapes, colors, experiences, countries, all of it.
No, that's a fact. I love that because it's so true. You don't have to. It doesn't mean you're not black if you like rock music. It doesn't mean that you're not black if you like anime. It does not mean that you're not black if you, like you said, want to dress a specific way. It doesn't mean that you're not black if like you haven't watched all the OG like what is it, black movies.
It's
and everything.
okay.
Like it's fine. Like it doesn't make you less of who you are. You don't have to
conform.
Yeah, you don't have to conform. It doesn't mean that you hate yourself if you like something outside of what the majority of black people like. I can't dance and I'm black, so like
you have some rhythm.
I have rhythm. Yes. Can't dance. You know what I'm saying? So like, but it doesn't mean I'm less black because I can't. Like it's.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like it's because the assumption that because like you know that's a good thing. Like oh, all black people can dance. Some people can't. Like it's fine. Like
right. Those are the stereotypes.
All the stereotypes, like, oh, what is it? I have a friend that doesn't like watermelon and she's black. It's okay.
That's fine.
People are like, oh.
Who made that up?
They try to belittle you, try to put you down for, like, oh, you hate yourself. Like, no. Like, what is it? Especially for, like, because you said cottagecore and soft girl and stuff like that. Like, I've seen videos where they're just like, yeah, you're just trying to be white because you're wearing, like, frilly dresses and everything. I'm like, when did this start becoming, like, belong to white people? Like, when did pink dresses equal white people or like wearing a ponytail and like being more feminine equals trying to be white? I find
that's what it is. Softness is associated with whiteness. Femininity is associated, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Which is awful.
Like you said, a whole other thing. But like, I think overall be kind to yourself. You like what you like. You are who you are. You enjoy what you enjoy. So don't. Even the voices and things that you've heard growing up telling you you're not allowed to like this, you're not allowed to do this. Like, I'm not saying turn them off tomorrow, but work on turning those off because the things that you like, the things you enjoy, what you like to do overall makes up you as a person. So you're trying to diminish them and push them to the side because it's not black or because it's not accepted. It's just not good. Like you're allowed to like what you like. When you're black, you're allowed to like whatever you want to like, just like every other person. We are people of color. We're people of color based on where we were born in the world. The color does not define what we can and cannot do, what we should and should not like, because you're just restricting yourself. Like I remember for a while, this was like 2020, I was like afraid of listening to like an anime song that I like while I was jogging because I was like, this is too nerdy. I can't do this. Like this is not allowed. And I'm just like, and it's in my headphones. Like I don't even know what I was thinking, but I was just like, I'm not allowed to do this. Like I can't do this. And I was just like, no, I'm gonna listen to this anime song because I like anime and like, why do I feel ashamed for this? Like it doesn't affect anybody. So it's so internal sometimes that you have like eliminated the option for you to even enjoy or entertain certain things. Like what is it, like there's certain like certain art class, you know what I'm saying, like there's certain like like black people don't go to a museum, they just do this, like certain interests and activities that I really want to engage and do that like people have said like, oh, that's not black or like that's weird or whatever, that I want to try. And it's just like, why are activities synonymously white? Like why is it if I go for a hike it's like, oh, that's some white people stuff? Like I can go for, I like nature. Is that a problem? Is that an issue? Yeah. So do you have any of those experiences?
Yeah, I mean, I would say some of the ones that you mentioned probably, and just like I would say like the being in nature is definitely like one. Like why would y'all do that? But I think on that note, I think there are also like things that are understood by black people as a collective, like with our upbringings and our childhoods and things like that. So it's one thing to like step out of like the box of what people expect you to do, and then another thing to be like, okay, this kind of like unites all of us. Like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but just like things that I see where I'm like, oh, did everyone have the same childhood growing up? Like, how do we all know this as like a black collective?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I obviously there are many things that connect us.
Like for example, like when you come inside, you take your shoes off, or like that seems like something, but it's just like an unspoken rule. There's so many unspoken rules that like I appreciate that people just get me on. I don't have to explain it. Yeah,
you say hi to everybody in the room when you first come in. I don't know if that's a Haitian thing or just like a
I think it's more a Haitian thing.
It's more of a Haitian thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can't walk into a room in a Haitian house and just like walk by. Like that's disrespect. You pretty much smack them in the face. At that
you
point.
might as well leave it.
No, literally, just go home.
Yeah. Try again later. So many, and maybe we'll pop some memes. Because I'm sure if I look it up, I'll see so many. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, this is a Black one for the most part. I know everyone's not religious, but like blasting Christian music on like a Saturday morning.
Yeah, for cleaning.
Yeah, for cleaning specifically. Yeah. Like everybody's gonna get up and play and stuff like that. Yeah, that's probably I got nothing. That's crazy. But
no, there's so many unspoken rules, and I think that makes me like so happy.
Yes, I love that. We come together as a collective, and also the things that we come together for, you can enjoy things outside of that too. Yeah, it's okay. We're not like, it's not a cult. Like you don't have to like these specific things. You can enjoy those specific things. Like if it's a stereotype and you like it, then like yes, enjoy it. We're not saying go against all the things that bring us together, and also you shouldn't be put down or picked on because you like things outside of that too. Because no activity, no specific thing is only white or only like Black. So thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, ideas, feel free.
Recommendations.
Yes.
All of it.
Send an email to unspokentransitions@gmail.com, and this will all be in the notes. So thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.